Hello beautiful people, scent gourmands and bag lovers. It's Trina. Welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be a post-COVID checkout and part one of a two-part major haul I've done. I wouldn't say as a result of, but definitely prompted by my my illness. And today I'm just going to talk about 3 bags that I procured because 2 of them are going to another person who's actually coming by this afternoon to pick them up. I don't know if this happened after I filmed the footage from last video or before or during, but I did have a fever for 4 or 5 days. Off and on, and I also had some skin issues. My rosacea came back. It's covered heavily with makeup at the moment, and also I had skin itching all over, and these are symptoms I've suffered before. I'm very allergic to a lot of medicine, and it usually comes through the skin. Like if I have penicillin, I get a rash all over, and it's horrible. So, and I went to the hospital yesterday, and yesterday I didn't have a fever. I was feeling fine, and I was told that all my symptoms, like the skin related and fever and other little bits and pieces, were not actually COVID related, but were drug related, and that's good news, I guess. So when I first got out of hospital, the first 3 days, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I basically did too much. I was out and about doing too much, and it just exhausted me, and that's probably what led to my fever, is what the doctor's hypothesizing. Not related to COVID. I think I'm doing pretty well. Actually, my lung capacity has improved a lot. My lungs now feel like they're almost my own. For the first few days out of hospital, I quite literally felt like I had removed, my lungs were removed and replaced by a different person. It was that weird, but now it's becoming, they're feeling more like my own. My breathing is, it's tight in the chest still, and I'm basically exhausted all the time. And those are the only really COVID-related side effects, if you want to call them that, post-COVID signs that I'm having. The other issues are related to the steroids I took, specifically my skin. So I've been put on some anti-itch medication because what I've been doing unconsciously at night is scratching to the point where I'm bleeding. It's bad. I've had this before, so I'm familiar. And in the past, I've had this, it's called Hyrodoid cream, and so I was prescribed some more of this, and this works wonderfully. I don't know if you can get it outside Japan, but it's fantastic. And I also, these medication, not all of this, just this is a whole bunch of other stuff I got just in case after the hospital. But I have some anti-itch oral medication. I would prefer if it were topical. The side effect of this is that I become very, very drowsy, but actually that's good because I've been suffering from insomnia as well. So at nighttime it's wonderful, but during the day, I think I'll just put the cream on and avoid taking this because I don't like taking a 3-hour nap in the middle of the afternoon when there's so much I want to do now that I'm out. And for my rosacea, I actually know what to do. It's already healed a lot. It's very dry and red still, but at least it's not oozy, pussy, and gross. If you suffer from rosacea, it really depends on what the cause is. In my case, I think the cause is Demodex mites. So I use this really cheap cream that I recommend. You can get it for a couple of dollars back where you live. It's a little more expensive here, but it works. This is kind of like a Vaseline type of texture, which I hate. The best cream that I had is from Ovante, O-V-A-N-T-E. It's Rosacea Cream Plus. That's amazing. It's got tea tree oil in it, and it's fantastic. But the shipping to either Japan or Canada, where my parents are, to ship to me is ridiculous. So for now, I think I'm gonna gaman or endure with this cheapy cream here. And of course this stuff. So that is basically my update with post-COVID symptoms. I don't know for how much longer I'm going to feel exhausted, but I think next week I'll be ready to go back to work, so I'm very pleased. So when you're in the hospital and you have nothing to do, shopping is one thing you can do on your cell phone, and I'll talk about that in my next video. I have a massive haul video, but today I'm going to share with you 3 bags that I got. And I have to, like I said, one of them, maybe 2 of them are going to a friend this afternoon, so I just wanted to share them with you. And the first is something you've already seen on my channel, and it's this lovely trotteur bag from LV. This one is in much better condition to my bag that I originally shared on this channel. I dyed mine, of course, and then resold it. This one is in much better condition. I mean, there's a little bit of staining at the bottom. Let's see if I can focus that better. There you go. So there's a little bit of staining at the bottom here, and it is worn. I would say, I would call this a B grade bag. So it's, to me, this is worn. It's not in bad enough condition to warrant dyeing, and if you like Vachetta, it's great. There is absolutely nothing at all wrong with the canvas. It's in perfect condition, and the straps are also very good. Hold on, let me focus this again. The inside also is fantastic. Got it stuffed at the moment. There's nothing wrong with the inside at all. No staining, nothing. It's mint. So I haven't gone in with any Brasso yet. I'm gonna leave that to my friend to do, because I don't want to be responsible for any residue or anything like that. It's her bag. She's going to give it to her daughter, I think for her 16th or 18th or something like that birthday. And this is actually a bag that apparently she's wanted. And yeah, I paid, or my friend paid, I should say, much more for this than I would pay. But as you might know from my previous videos, I like to buy things dirt cheap and then renovate them, or, you know, bring them back to life in some way. So there you go. That's the Trotteur from Louis Vuitton. I think this one is from 2003. And of course, they don't make that bag anymore. You can only get it vintage. I don't think there's a lot of fake bags out there for that model, but there might be. I don't know. Okay, so the second bag, the next two bags I have purchased are from Chloé. So this first one I purchased thinking it was going to be a lot bigger. It's about the same size as the Trotteur, actually. I don't know what the date is. I don't know when it came out. Don't know what the name is. If I do find that information, I'll post it on the screen here or below. I'll probably be able to find it. But this is it, and I'm disappointed because it's just a tiny little bag, and I have tiny little bags. I should have paid more attention to the measurements. I thought it was going to be about this big, and I also thought the strap was going to be longer. It's too short for me. It does have three what do you call it, holes here on each side, but they're already on the longest setting, and it's too short. What I do like about this model is that you can actually take off both straps and use another strap if you want, or you can just use the little one, or you can just use the long one. It's up to you. I think it's a cute little bag, and actually the same friend might be interested in purchasing this from me. This was an excellent buy. I paid less than about six. And the first digit was a 6, so not bad. They actually had cheaper ones, but they weren't in as good condition. This, I would say, is in better condition than this one. This one has a lot of staining. This is just generally worn. There are no scratches. The metal, okay, so the metal has definitely faded. You can see some silver coming out, not so much on the front here, but more on the sides. It looks like a silver metal more than gold at this point. But again, this shined up with some Brasso. I think it's going to look excellent. The size is cute. I think for a smaller woman, a shorter woman, this is going to be a cute little number, and kind of a timeless look to it. Kind of reminds me of Ferragamo. Ferragamo has often these types of bows in it, but Chloé is just, I think Chloé has probably the best leathers in the luxury market. One of the best leathers. The only problem with Chloé, and I'm going to show you this in my next vintage purchase, is the leather is heavy. It's the meatiest leather you can find. It's usually thick, luxurious, and it ages really well. So let me get onto that bag here, which is this massive satchel beast. It's the Héloise satchel, and you guys, I got this for 4,000 yen, which is probably around, I don't know, 30, 35 US dollars. That's insane. And I love this. This is, to me, this is real luxury. I remember when I first came to Japan in the 90s, it was around 95, 96, I went to Ginza and went in one of those fancy pants department stores. Was it Tokushima? Matsuyama? Matsu something rather. Right in front of the big clock, or near where the across the street from, kind of across the street from where the new Mac Apple store is. It's not that new anymore, of course, but really posh old money area in Japan, in Tokyo. And they had a big display of Chloé bags at the time, which are now considered vintage, I mean 90s. And they were these massive satchel type bags. I can't remember some of the names, I'll post them here, but they all had that big lock and the big buckles, lots of hardware, thick juicy leathers, and beautiful bags, very much with the times, you know, the 90s, big, bold. But they're heavy AF, and I think that's the major downfall. I've said this on my channel before, but don't get a big tote-sized bag that's in leather because it's going to be heavy. So this bag here right now, I've got it stuffed with just some paper to fill it out a bit to show you. And it already weighs more than my Louis Vuitton Totally GM, which is what I'm using today, which is already stuffed full of all my crap. So, you know, that's something to consider if you're interested in vintage Chloé. They are heavy, but I just think this is such a beautiful piece, and it's so chic. I think it is a little dated perhaps, but I'm gonna rock it. I love this. And I've already gone in and cleaned the brass here. There was a lot that came out. It looks amazing, and I'll show you some close-ups of the bag now. So this is probably the same size, can probably hold the same size as the PM size of the Louis Vuitton Alma. It has two side slide pockets to fill in, maybe put your iPhone in there. It's got identical zippers on each side on the outside of the bag. In the inside, it's got, where the biggest part is, there is one zippered pocket on one side and one slip pocket on the other. So lots of compartmentalizations going on here. I love the thick leather pieces on each of the zipper pulls. Looks fantastic. I love how they emboss Chloé into all of the brass pieces here. It's such a luxurious bag. The only part where I think they failed on this bag is on the side. I've cleaned up the brass a bit, but actually no, you know what? When I was cleaning it, I thought it was a cheaper silver metal, but looking at it now, it looks pretty good. It's brass. It is brass. Yeah, I'm very pleased with this purchase. I mean, come on, 4,000 yen. One of the best purchases of the year by far. And I'm not going to baby this. It's already been well used. I love the worn effect of it. I'm excited, and I'm going to keep my eyes open for other Chloé bags of this nature. Very good. So that was a win. The second one was a win. The first one was not a win for me, but definitely it would be for someone else. So there you go, my lovelies. And my next video, which I've already filmed in part, is the massive haul video minus these three items. Okay, bag lovers, I will talk to you in the next video. Mwah.